Why would you pay Salesforce thousands of dollars a month when you can build exactly what your business needs or your customers' businesses need for a fraction of a cost? It's exactly what you need for pennies. It helps you look like a nationwide brand for next to nothing software. If I want the Jobber account that has like the SMS functionality, it's like $400 or $500 a month. It's crazy. And the vast majority of businesses might need 3 of Jobber's 100 features, right? They're paying for all this stuff that they don't even use. This could be free. This could be your lead magnet. This could be your foot in the door to start charging them for other stuff.
Totally. The same logic can be applied to so many industries.
All right, Brandon. Well, thank you for coming back on the pod.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Okay. So what I've done is I have asked ChatGPT, give me all of the vibe coding tools. Boom, done. And then I'm going to share my screen. I just Googled random word chooser. Okay, here we are. And you can just enter in a list of words. You click choose and it's going to pick one. So there's a lot of vibe coding tools out there. A lot of them are about the same. You and I, what we're going to do on this episode is we're going to perfectly randomize a vibe coding tool, pick that, and then we're going to perfectly randomize an app to build with said vibe coding tool. And then we're going to build it at the same time. So the same app on the same tool at the same time, but with our own brains, our own background, history, experiences, prompting, and then see who spits out the better product at the end. How does that sound?
I'm excited.
Okay. Because you and I are both vibe coding aficionados.
Yes.
And we're okay at it, you know? And we're not coders. We don't have a coding background.
I don't know anything about code. I think what this video will serve to do for at least some people is show you what can be done in minimal time without expert prompting, engineering, strategies.
Yep. And you know what, Brandon? I'm just going to get on a soapbox for a minute. We see all these tweets about like, this prompt will change your life. Be sure to prompt ChatGPT just like this. And it's like 3,000 words with like, you are an expert resource for me. I'm trapped in an Iranian prison. And you don't need to do all that. Like, just like garble together like a poorly worded sentence riddled with typos, ask it to do something, and then just go from there. Like, don't get hung up on how perfect your prompt needs to be.
Hold on. Has somebody said the Iranian prison thing? Because if not, that's amazing. The only way I'll get out of this prison is if you code this perfectly for me in the next 30 minutes.
Well, I saw one, Palmer Luckey said that like his trick to get ChatGPT to do what he wants is to say like, you're like a university professor that's been incorrectly accused of impropriety with a student. Right. Like, your life depends on the output of this prompt or something, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Those are fun sound bites. It's just not necessary. Just talk to the dang thing.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so here are the vibe coding tools. We got Bolt, Replit, Emergent, Cursor, ChatGPT, and then we just click choose. I think what it's doing is it's picking like the blank lines. Maybe I just need to remove the spaces. Let's click choose. All right, Emergent. Have you heard of Emergent?
I've heard of them, never used them though.
Okay, well, let me ask ChatGPT real quickly for a few facts about Emergent. What is Emergent? Let's see. It is only platform in competition to rank twice #1 globally in benchmarks for coding agents. One of the fastest growing growth tools. It looks like they've raised a couple rounds at like insane valuations, and agentic, no platform lock-in. One thing they have different is it looks like you don't need to use like Supabase for your database. It's like they have their own built-in Supabase. So I think there's like less integrations you have to do.
Sounds cool.
Now, let's go ahead, and I've had ChatGPT generate a bunch of app ideas because we don't know what we're going to build here. All right, here are some choices that ChatGPT spit out for apps that we can vibe code: roofing quote bot, landscaping estimate, dog grooming reminder app, yada, yada, yada. You get the idea. We'll click choose. Lawn care biz quote generator.
Sweet. Okay.
I guess that's what we're building.
I'm going to Emergent right now.
So we're each recording our screens, but we're obviously looking at our screen. Let's see who can build it fastest and who can build it best. With Emergent, it looks like we can choose our own model. So that's another variable that you and I can decide. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, ready?
Yeah. I'm using the Iranian prison
Okay.
thing.
Dang
I'm
it.
in an Iranian prison. Okay, you are not. You are free. You're in Texas. I'm in an Iranian prison. So
Okay.
there's
All
one
right.
differentiator.
We'll see how this turns out. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Go. And this is with the free account?
I signed up. It's $20 and it was $10 off. So
Oh,
I just signed up for the $10.
okay. So both of us got the $20 a month plan, but we're welcome to choose whatever model we want to choose or prompt it however fancy or simply that we like. And should we go?
Let's go.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay, so I just finished my first prompt. I pressed enter 30 seconds ago. It told me that it's gonna build it, and now their agent is asking me a few details to clarify what I want. So I'm gonna review those and see what I need. Okay, so the details it asked me are pretty good. It wants to clarify what services specifically am I offering, how should the quote calculation be designed, how should quotes be managed, whether it's instant or is it more of like a lead form thing, and then if I have any design preferences on how this little web app, this little website thing is going to look. So I'm going to answer, and I'm just going to say mowing and hedging are going to be my services. And okay, quote calculation, how to determine the price. Yes, square feet or acres, service frequency, good call, whether that's, weekly, every other week, or monthly. Quote handling. I'm going to do instant quote display and a lead form below that on the results page. Also, my contact information so they can get a hold of me if they want to.
Fun fact, 80% of the people that watch my YouTube videos are not subscribed to me, and most of them think they are. They see them in the feed, but they're not subscribed to me. So please, it'll take half a second. Just click subscribe, and it would mean a ton to me.
For anyone watching, a famous one that people like to say is sort of like, use the aesthetics of Airbnb. Airbnb is like a super famous, well, everybody knows Airbnb, I'm sure, but they're well known for just being a very well-designed, pretty, app and website. So I'm just going to do that one for fun. I'm going to say model it after Airbnb style, but with different colors. I'm going to do greens because lawns should be green. Okay, let's see what happens. Also, the waiting screen very much has Matrix vibes. So that's kind of fun.
My original prompt is now officially sent off, and it's working. What were you going to say?
So I gave my prompt, and then it asked me questions. I answered the questions, and then it's been working in the background, which obviously, if I was doing this, I don't have to actually be watching the screen while it's working in the background because Emergent makes nice little noises. So I can just come back and check when I hear a noise and do something else, check my email, whatever, while I'm waiting. So just a little side note there for people.
It is nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, you go, then I'll be ready because mine just gave me an output.
All right. It just asked me 4 clarification questions, and I just answered those. It took about a minute to send me those questions back. Now it's working again.
Mine gave me its first output. It looks good. It does have the vibes of Airbnb like I asked for, but with greens. So that's nice. It looks pretty. It looks simple, which is also what I want. It said that it gave me the front end. It took some screenshots, as you can see on my screen, to show like how the quote process would work if I were to go through it, which I will. It gives me a nice little recap. And then it gives me sort of a, just the details of what it did. It says I won't read it all, but it said, I created the front end only version of your quote generator using mock data that reflects Airbnb with the green you requested. And then it shows me what is working: the quote calculator, the instant quote display, the lead form, business contact info, and then the site. And then it notes, which is good because some people kind of forget about this, the pricing logic is currently just with mock data and doesn't have any, real thing to go off of yet. So because I didn't give it any dollar number of any kind. So I'm going to have to do that, and I'm going to start testing it just to make sure it actually works. Also, if you see on my screen, it lets me choose as a user, the square footage or acres, so I can choose either one. And then it says if I want lawn mowing and or hedge trimming. And then it also asks if it's going to be a one-time service, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So it set it up to where the user can have all those options.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So is yours kind of like a chat bot and not like a form?
No, it's a form.
Okay.
But it's like a dynamic form, so that's good. So I just did a test, and so I put that my lawn size is 600 square feet. I said I wanted mowing and hedging. I said I wanted it weekly. It gave me the quote, which is $7.80 per service, because it doesn't have any real data. So obviously I need to change that, because whoever would do this would be losing money. It shows a nice little breakdown of what's included for that $7.80, the form below, as well as contact information. So I'm going to now work on adjusting the pricing logic so it spits out correct pricing here. Also, for anyone noting, in the top right of my screen, I started with 110 credits in my account here with Emergent, and I'm at 109.67. So I haven't even used one credit total.
6.7.
6.7.
Okay. So on my end, it was basically saying like, hey, what kind of a database do you want? And I'm like, just Google Sheets. And then it's like, okay, how do you want to integrate Google Sheets? And like, I mean, for the purposes of this video, we want to launch this fast. I was like, never mind. Just email me the lead. And then it was like, all right, do you want to use SendGrid? Do you want to use SMTP or whatever? And then I started to log into my SendGrid account because I have one, and it wanted two-factor. And I was just like, nope, too hard. No integration. Just generate quotes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I mow my own lawn, so I don't know how much lawns cost to mow these days.
Okay. I've got a quote here. I did not give it any design specifications. Mine says lawn care quote calculator. It's green, I'm assuming, because it's lawn care. It asks for full name, phone number, property acreage, and house square footage. So now I'm going to test it and see how it goes.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. So mine worked perfectly. It did exactly what I needed it to do.
It's awesome.
Now the math, like I need to adjust the math, and I'll get to that in a minute, but it works. So I'm going to keep tweaking it.
Since I didn't do this earlier, I just put in the pricing. So I just chose $50 per 1,000 square feet of mowing. And then I told it to adjust for smaller or larger lawns, and to adjust to change to acres and do the calculations for that if needed. And I said that that's for a one-time mow. I said if they want hedging too, just add a 25% additional cost. And then I told it that if the customer signs up for monthly instead of one time, they get a 5% discount, bi-weekly an additional 5% discount, and then weekly an additional 5% discount. So it's now adding in that pricing logic, and it'll give me the updated version shortly.
I like that. How many credits are you at?
108.37.
I just feel like with these vibe coding tools, customization is going to be the name of the game. Like, why would you pay Salesforce thousands of dollars a month, or HubSpot or whoever, when you can build exactly what your business needs, or when you can build exactly what your customers' businesses need for a fraction of a cost, where you use all of the features. There's no features that you're paying for but not using. It's exactly what you need for pennies, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Okay, quick thing on my end. If you see my screen here, this is tkowners.com. This is a community that Chris runs, that I help him run. It's amazing. If you want to do anything in the world of entrepreneurship and business, you got to get in this community. We're doing stuff like this every day. Yeah. So it just spit out my pricing update, which was great. So it did it, and it did all the ratios and all that. And then it asked me if I wanted to like build a robust backend database and stuff. And I just said, no, just email me the quotes. Once someone fills it out, just email me the quotes to Brandon@wallaroomedia.com. And can you also launch this on a live test URL? So let's see what happens.
It's funny because it's like, in using these tools, you kind of have to retrain your brain. right? Like,
Yeah.
let's say you get to this point and you're like, okay, let's say we've never used a vibe coding app before, right? We get to this point where we have a working prototype and we want it to be on a website, but we don't even know like how to ask it that, right? Like, all
Yeah.
right, well, I've never used Emergent before. So like the gut instinct is to Google like how to deploy Emergent app onto a website. But no, like just use the chat interface that you're currently using to build the app to ask it questions about the app. Okay, ready to deploy. What do I click next? And then it will switch from being like a coder to a customer support agent, all within the same chat window. But
Yeah.
you just have to start thinking along those lines.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Look at my screen. Like, it just asked me a bunch of questions. Some were technical, some not that technical. I asked it, I said, email me the quotes. And then it said, okay, what API do you want to integrate? And then it gave me some choices. And I'm like, you know what? Just put the lead forms on a Google Sheet to make it faster.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had asked me like all the info that I want, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, just include whatever the person enters in the lead form and the instant quote. Like, I'm not doing Brandon, I'm not doing anything fancy here. To your point, I'm just chatting with this thing. And I'm like, yeah, just do this. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
just commanding it like a, entry level employee who happens to be amazing in AI.
Yes. Okay. So I like how it gives you an option to deploy it right within the chat window with a big green button. You can't miss it. You can preview it by clicking that. I don't want to talk you through what I've done so far, but I want to test it first. All right. Can I walk you through what I've done?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not going to tell you yet what my original prompt was, but here's the logic of how I'm looking at this. So I wanted the name and phone number because this is a lead magnet, right? This is accomplishing two goals at once. It's saving me time because it's quoting a job for me because these guys probably spend a lot of time on the phone. And if they're mowing the lawn, like the average business owner in this space, at least, is out there mowing lawns all day. They're not like, they don't have a receptionist, right? So they're losing money ignoring calls from people that want a price because they're probably already very targeted and like, it's probably a very hot lead that they're ignoring, right? And so if they could just have an autoresponder say, oh, I'd love to offer you a price, just fill this out real quick. Then A, they get the lead, and B, they save time, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I'm looking at this going into it. So I want the name, I want the phone number. I don't care about email because this is a very phone-based business. I need to know the acreage. And I told Emergent, or I just reminded it, like, we're using acreage as like 43,500 square feet per acre, right? So if they put in 0.1, it's going to be 10% of that. And then we're using house square footage because they're going to subtract that from the acreage. And then I also told it subtract 10% of the acreage from the square footage as well. So let's just say it's a 0.1 acre lot. That's roughly 4,300 square feet. And let's say it's a 1,000 square foot house. Subtract that, we're at 3,300 square feet. But then we also need to subtract 10% of the lot size to account for the driveway, which is going to be 430. So that leaves us with like 2,600 square feet, right? And then I know based on the last neighborhood I lived in that like a small house on a small lot like that is going to be about 40, 50 bucks. So I just said, multiply the square footage by 1.6 cents because that's about how you get to about 40, 50 bucks, right? Mm-hmm. So it spit that out for me and then it worked. And then I said, whoa. I tried like half an acre and it gave me like $300. And I'm like, I know that's way too much for half an acre. So then I went back and I said, I need to scale the pricing for larger lawns. A half acre lawn and 2,000 square foot house should not cost 281. Your math is right, but that price is way too expensive. Okay, so like do a discount against the 1.6 cent rate of 20% for every quarter acre. So obviously I did a very poor job explaining that, but don't get hung up on doing a good job explaining it. It's going to figure it out, right? Yeah. And then it spit out something that worked. And it said the tiered pricing feature has been added to the calculator, incorporating volume discounts for larger properties, yada, yada, yada. It breaks it all down. Guys, I have started dozens of businesses at this point, and every once in a while, I'll see some random fee in my bank account that makes 0 sense to me. And when you're dealing with international stuff, you see it all the time. It's not uncommon for currency conversions to eat 3 to 5% of every transaction. It's insane. But Airwallex fixes this with things like multi-currency accounts across 60 plus currencies, no double foreign transaction conversions killing your margin. You can collect payments in euros, hold them in euros, pay suppliers in euros, none of that converting back and forth. Over 150,000 businesses use them across 160 countries. They've got corporate cards and expense management built right in. So stop bleeding fees and go check out airwallex.com, your global business without borders. And then I said, add a field for asking how many mows per month. If once, full price. Twice equals 20% off the total per mow. 3 or more equals 40% off the total per mow. And then it did that quite perfectly. And where I'm at now is I said, work in a minimum, because I played around with it. And one of the quotes it gave me was $0. And the math was right? I did like a 5,000 square foot lot and a 5,000, square foot house, $0.
Yeah.
So I said, work in a minimum where it will never quote any job less than $40 per mow. It will override all math. And then add in a checkbox that says, add in weed eating for insert price more per mow, and then the price should be 20% of the total mow amount.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Where are you at?
Okay, so I asked it to just house all the info on a Google Sheet. And so it says that it just finished that. So it's got all the quote generation built. It says the back end has been tested and all API endpoints are responding correctly. It says it's all ready to go. It says I need to follow the Google Sheets setup.md little thing that it gave me to create the Google Sheet basically that it will connect with. And it has that above. So I'm going to do that really quick and then launch it. I think one thing that's worth noting is, like, depending on what industry you're in when you're watching this, we're building lawn care quote generators. The same logic can be applied to so many industries, whether you're a roofer or a painter or in fencing or whatever, like calculating fee and logic and spitting out the correct pricing.
Yep.
And then using this for lead gen and spitting out a quote right away, which is not the norm these days, right? The norm is me, if I want a new roof, I have to call roofers and then they say they're going to come out, or maybe they didn't even answer the phone. So like, this is a good way to get around that, get some instant feedback and hopefully quick leads. And what I would do if we had more time today, or if I really wanted to build this out, once the thing is live, I would probably also structure it to where I get pinged, or I would for sure structure it to where every time someone fills out a form and they submit their contact info, that I would get a text. I wouldn't just want the email. Mm-hmm. I'd want a text with their info, and I would text and call them right away saying, hey, I got your thing. It's, the quote says it would be $80 a week, but actually if we start this week, I'll do it for 75. So you're like double over delivering over any normal competitor, which is transparency of pricing up front and speed to reply. In the home services industry, those two things are not that normal. So this strategy helps you stand out with both.
Yeah, it helps you look like a nationwide brand for next to nothing software.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And one thought that I had is, like, no shade to Jobber, but if I want the Jobber account that has like the SMS functionality or a lot of these things, it's like $400 or $500 a month. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, the vast majority of businesses cannot afford that. And the vast majority of businesses might really need 3 of Jobber's 50 features, 100 features, right? So once again, I already said this, but they're paying for all this stuff that they don't even use. But with something like this, maybe like this one little feature is a game changer for them. It helps them close more deals. It helps them save time, right? Not miss out on stuff for a tiny price. And then, like, this could be free. This could be your lead magnet. And this could be your foot in the door to start charging them for other stuff, to start charging them for their own version of Jobber, right?
Yeah.
Or for a lead gen service, or for anything.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Hey, quick note for some commenters out there. You don't need to say the Malcolm in the Middle comparisons to me anymore. Malcolm in the Middle, all grown up. You've been sharing that in the comments.
Wait.
I don't want to
Really?
hear
They're
it
saying that
anymore.
about you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just joking. But yeah,
That's amazing.
on every YouTube video of yours that you posted of me, people make Malcolm in the Middle comparisons.
Oh my gosh.
Which I've never seen the show actually, but I heard it was good.
Have you heard that before from others?
I never have, but it's just in your YouTube videos that I appear
That's
on.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay, mine is live. I'll show the URL, momaster-6.emergent.host. Check it out. So enter your lawn size. So I did do it differently. So I'm counting currently on people knowing how big their lawn size is, either in square feet or acres. Lawn mowing, hedging, biweekly, instant quote, boom, 2,000 square feet, $112, discount applied. Awesome. What's included? Okay. Okay. So I just entered my info to receive the quote. Thank you. It gives me the thank you page and that I'll be contacted shortly. Also, business info here, which obviously I could customize if this was real. Yeah. It all looks pretty good, pretty quick. Then I would just get the contact lead and contact them. So it spits out the thank you confirmation, and then that information, the lead form, just goes to my Google Sheet. And so now, the $112.50 is there along with their contact info. And if I was Greenscape Lawn Care, if I was the owner of that company, I would just, call and text them right away. And I would probably offer them a discount off this 112 to get started this week and to close them. And good to go.
Ooh. Oh man, yours looks better than mine. Dang it.
I do like the blurb they gave me and the little sub thing. Professional lawn care, instantly quoted.
Mm-hmm.
Get your personalized lawn mowing and hedging quote in seconds. Quality service, transparent pricing. Beautiful.
Okay. So it's a little different. It's almost like yours is like its own standalone business, right? Whereas mine is like a little widget that I'm sending customers that's not meant to be like publicly facing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess my thought process is this I would have, like this would be a landing page or a homepage of a live website that I would try to drive traffic to get customers
okay.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the approach I took.
Whereas the approach I'm taking is like kind of like missed call text back, right? You're mowing the lawn, someone calls you or someone texts you. And this would be an additional automation we'd have to build probably outside of Emergent. But if it's not answered, let's say if the phone isn't answered at all, and if the text isn't answered in 5 minutes, then auto text a link to this and say, so sorry, I'm actually mowing a lawn right now. I assume you want a quote. Happy to do that. Fill this out. It'll only take 30 seconds. And then I'll call you back like in person. That was kind of my intent for this.
Yeah, so you could probably use Lindy plus Emergent to do that, right?
Yep, or Zapier or Go High Level or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe you could even use Emergent to do it, I don't know. I don't know it well enough. Okay, mine is ready. So there's mine, there's yours. Yours is like kind of a landing page. Looks super nice. You've got these boxes right here are responsive. You've got a shadow gradient. It's nice and like it's green, but not too green. It's different shades. It's not shouting at me. You have 2 different check boxes here for lawn mowing, hedge trimming, service frequency. I like that. I like how you have square feet in a separate box, lawn size, service frequency. I'm going to go ahead and, okay, this is cool. I'm going to do 1 acre. We're going to do lawn mowing and trimming. We're going to do biweekly, get instant quote. Okay. It was literally instant, which is awesome. Your custom quote, $24.50 per service. So that's a lot.
That seems high.
Yours that seems high. $2,400 to mow an acre. But on the like visual side of things, I think yours is a no-brainer. What's included? I like that. And then they fill out the lead. I don't prefer the fact that you don't get their information until, because if they don't like the price, you're never going to get their number, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Contact information, that's nice. I don't have that. So I guess my favorite things about yours, if I look at it holistically, is it looks better. It's better design. I like that you incorporated Airbnb into the prompt, which we'll get to in a minute. And I like just the UI of like the checkboxes on the homepage and all that. What I don't like is that you don't get their information unless they like the price, and the fact that the pricing doesn't seem quite dialed in. Whereas I spent less time on the look of it and more time on the math of it on the back end. That's my gut take.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I need to fix that because I think I started at $50 for 1,000 square feet, but 1,000 square feet is not that much for a lawn.
Mm-hmm.
So scaling that up to an acre adds up pretty quick. So I didn't do any like scale down pricing logic and all that kind of stuff. I more just did ground up and go from there. So I need to fix that. And I think what you said on the info, on the lead information side, is everyone needs to decide, like, I'm counting on the instant price, in which case I need to fix, but can I deliver an instant price so good that they'll give me their contact info? So I'm willing to like lose some people that won't give it to me regardless, because I know because of the ease and speed, I'm hoping will make up for it.
Well, 1,000%. I mean, that's the age-old trade-off when it comes to lead generation. The more friction you implement, the fewer leads you get, but the higher quality those leads will be. The less friction there is, you're going to get a lot more leads, but your close rate will go way down. And there's no right way. It depends on the industry, you know?
Yeah.
So I just broke down yours. Why don't you share your screen?
Okay, wait, what's yours? Mobid?
Mobid.emergent.host. Quick question. What if there were a private community out there of people that were building businesses based on this podcast? Well, I just made it. And it's only for business starters and business builders. It's called TK Owners. And it's basically like having me and 100 other business geniuses as your business partner. Also, there's going to be exclusive new trends, growth hacks, business ideas, and a database of everything I've ever talked about. You'll find thousands of startup case studies. You'll have weekly Ask Me Anythings with me, while I'll answer your questions directly. You can join now at tkowners.com, link in the show notes.
Well, I like it. It's very simple. There's only literally one thing I can do here. So let's see here. Acreage. I'm gonna do 1.5. Actually, I'm gonna do 2.2. House square footage. I wonder how it calculates this, because is it like the footprint? You know, what if it's 2 stories?
I thought about that and I did not incorporate that into the math. So
yeah, I don't even know.
That's fair.
I'm just curious. Okay. Calculate.
Well, that's another really trade-off, right? Like I could add that question in. I could add that question in and I might get 5% fewer responses because there's more friction, you know?
Right.
But it could be a more accurate quote, you know?
Yeah. So I did do 2.2 acres. So it's obviously a big lot, takes away the house, takes away the driveway, mobile area, 40% with 3x monthly service. I like that because that's what I chose, but I like the extra call out in a separate color on the discount. I did want weed eating, so it adds that. $500 per cut. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. And, you know, I didn't work in a pay now thing because, you know, we had different thought processes with what we were trying to build here. But I like that you already set that up because, yeah, that would, if you were to, you know, fully integrate that, then that would be, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. One of the last prompts I gave it was put in a blue pay now link that I can add a Stripe payment link to.
Yeah.
So sweet. Right now it leads to a dead Stripe link, but
yeah.
What I don't like about mine now that I see it is it doesn't scale the discounts enough based on the property acreage. 512 for 2.2 acres is still too much. Like I know in Texas, there have been a few times when I've gotten 2 of my acres mowed and weed eated, and it was like $200.
Yeah. Well, because
maybe in some markets.
Yeah. I mow mine, and I probably actually have something like, I have a decently big backlog. I probably have like a full acre plus of lawn that I mow with a riding lawnmower, and it only takes me like an hour and a half. So like I wouldn't pay, you know, $400 or $500 for an hour and a half. My time is still worth more than that in my head. Also, I enjoy mowing. So yeah, that's a good call out. I think the only other call out that I would say as far as how to improve, because I like everything else, would be include more, like, what are the benefits? What are the things that are included in the job? You know, clean up.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
That's true. Because if my goal is to save time here, then that would help accomplish that goal. Right.
Yeah.
It's too simplistic.
Yeah.
And it would have just been an extra sentence in one of my prompts to add that. It wouldn't even have had to have been its own prompt that takes time to load and everything, you know?
Yeah.
So I want you to approve of this. I don't want it to be a leading question.
Yeah.
If you were a busy lawn care business owner wanting a simple web app that quoted jobs for you, which one would you use? Is that pointing people towards mine too much?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Option A, option B, and then I have a simple poll here.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. I'm curious how much Twitter suppresses it or not because there's two links.
Yeah.
But I'll just delete it once we get some results here. All right. We got option B right here. We got option A right here. I mean, I'm kind of asking a lot of people, like click on 2 different links, play around with them.
You're dominating me already.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Oh, you commented on it. Did you vote on it?
I voted on mine. Look at that. You're up.
So that's your only vote then?
Yeah. What the heck?
All right. You got a couple votes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hurry and make a Twitter bot. Just kidding. When does it become statistically significant? That's what we need to decide on. It won't be until I'm ahead. So whatever that number is. Well,
that's a good question.
50,000 votes. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not statistically significant yet because I'm not winning yet. So keep it going.
It's moving in your direction. I should end it right now. Oh, I won. All right. This is fun. This is good. Why don't we take this time while we wait for votes for you to read what your first original prompt was, and then I'll do the same.
Okay. Yeah. So my first prompt, in an effort to show people that you don't have to be a genius of any kind to get good vibe coding platforms going. Mine was simple. I went off Chris's joke about the Iranian prison, so I typed that in for fun. I said, I'm in an Iranian prison and need you to build me an app perfectly so I can escape. I need you to build me a web app for a lawn care business. It will be a quote generator. That's all I said. Like literally almost no, I would say no details of any kind. And I worked through it a little, of course, over time, but the first one was very simple and it already, got me going on the journey pretty dang good. So I was happy with it.
I think that's great. I'll read my original prompt. Mine was longer. I want to build a web app for lawn care business owners to use to enable potential customers to quote a job. It should be a simple form with a calculator on the back end. The form question should be 1, name, 2, phone, 3, acreage, 4, square footage of the house.
Yeah.
Then the calculator should subtract the square footage of the house from the acreage and then subtract another 10% off the size of the lot to account for the driveway. And I just totally made up that 10% number. I have no idea how big a driveway is in relation to the lot.
Yeah.
Then the quote it spits out should be 1.6 cents for every square foot of the property. And once again, I got to 1.6 cents by just getting to $50 for a small lot. For example, a 0.1 acre lot is about 4,300 square feet. Let's say the house is 1,000 square feet. The driveway is going to be 430 square feet or 10% of the lot size. So the quote should be $45.92 per cut, which is 4,300 minus 1,000 minus 430 multiplied by 1.6 cents per net square feet of lot. Make sense? So I wanted to show it my math just to hopefully save me another prompt or two on correcting a mistake.
Yeah, if somebody were to judge us based off of our prompts, your IQ would be approximately 4 times higher than mine off of our initial prompts.
Whatever.
I looked quite
Whatever.
dumb. That's okay. I'm okay though. But yeah. Okay. I calculated how many words I typed in total to Emergent over the course of my 6 prompts. So 6 prompts in total, and 211 words is how many words I typed in. That's very, very
That seems
low.
very efficient.
That's incredibly low. I'm guessing.
It seems efficient though.
Yeah.
Because fewer words equals it could equal more time, right? But it could also equal fewer credits, like less cost on building this thing.
Yeah.
All right. So my count, here's my final count. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. I had 9 prompts for 354 words. What was yours again?
6 prompts for 211.
Very interesting. So I had 60, 70% more words and 50% more prompts than you.
I mean, I would say both of us with one more good prompt could make all the changes needed that we would want to make on ours before making it fully live, right? Like some slight adjustments to pricing logic on both of ours and some other things. And obviously we took different directions, but in, I don't know, under 400 words for you and 10 prompts, and in under 250 words for me and 7 prompts, we'll have something live and working in the span of under an hour as well.
So my prompts had 40 words per prompt and yours had 35. So pretty close.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it's almost like we netted out the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like same amount of time. What were your credits?
I'm at currently, I've got 51 left.
So I have 42 left. So which tracks. Okay. So like I had a few more prompts, few more characters, few more credits, but we did them both in about the same time.
Yeah.
So if we go to our poll,
you are winning.
64% to me, it's 36% to you.
It's not statistically significant. I want everyone to be reminded of that because you're.
I got to screenshot this for posterity's sake. Well, should we call it?
Yeah. No, this is good. You could let us know in the comments which one you think won.
Yes,
if you want.
Please. The comments might disagree here.
But yeah, we can put these URLs in the description of the video. You can let us know which one you think won. I won't be offended if it's not me. Don't worry.
Yeah. And if you're a landscaping business owner, go to mobid.emergent.host, or what was yours? Like Mo Monster?
Momaster-6.
Yeah. Momaster-6. Great domain names.
Yeah. Great domain names.
Well, this was fun. Emergent seems like an awesome tool. If we wanted to keep this app on Emergent, it would cost $20 a month, or we could export it and take it somewhere else. But it cost us about $10 to launch these apps. Not bad.
Super fun, easy to use.
If you guys are liking this video, please subscribe. Brandon, where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, Brandon Doyle. And check out tkowners.com if you want to learn more about this kind of stuff, or just scaling your business or networking with entrepreneurs. It's an awesome community that Chris and I are a part of.
All right, what'd you think? Please share it with a friend, and we'll see you next time on the Koerner Office.